Hey folks, Jason here with Dirt Race Life. So check this out. I've got my nose and my fenders in from Dominator Race Products. Let me show you where I'm at on this new metric build. Now, I already had the bumper on the crush. There was nothing wrong with it. This is the Dominator Race Products Camaro bumper. I just took it, cut it off of the old frame, welded it up. It was good to go. Few little dents and dings in it, but it's the right shape and everything. So I'm like, that's good. Let's use it. And then you'll see I went ahead and put me a big 1.5" tube across right here. I normally do this just as far as for radiator protection, because you know, if somebody has a bar, if I run into the back of somebody, and I'm not trying to, but if I did run into the back of somebody and their bottom bar is above here, then they're going to go straight into the radiator. So that's for that protection. I went with forward tubes coming like this right here, just to guide that up over it. Now you gotta remember, at that point, you know, you're really getting into your nose and stuff. You're gonna tear some stuff up. You're just trying to save your radiator unless you get a really heavy wreck. And then all bets are off. I took some measurements with my old nose off the crush for height to set the height. I ended up at 21 inches on the top of this tube right here is where I'm at with this. All right, let's talk about the good stuff. I wanna do this Dominator Camaro nose different than I've done in the past. So let me show you how I did the Camaro here. All of them that I've done up to this point, I've always made it kind of like one assembly, and then I'll just take the whole front cap off. That really does hurt me, like when I go to the big shows and stuff, if I'm gonna be swapping out springs a lot or wanting to put a load stick on the car or whatever, I really need to have a removable fender. And that's why you see a lot of these guys doing removable fenders. So you see how I did this one? It's all pop rivveted together on the front, then bolted in, and then I'm taking and I'm pop ribbing the fender here and the nose together. And so this is this preformed fender that's made to go with it from Dominator Race Products. And you see I've got the full fender back here, I've got the wrap going into it. I take a piece of sheet metal, and you see I've got a top piece pop riveted in here, and then I've got a side piece on each side. These are like 14 inches wide, and they go the full length. You know, and that's all one piece. So if I take this nose off, you know, I drill these rivets out back here on this back, and on my orange crush, I put bolts back here, and then that whole nose can come off going forward. And it works really well. It's really tough, holds up good. The green and black body scheme I had on this car back when I was driving it, man, that nose had went through like 3 or 4 seasons. It just would not die. So they work really well, but for working on the car, I'd like to come up with something a little better. So considering how that was, here's what I'm thinking. So we're gonna put a top bar support across and a piece of aluminum filler that's gonna go through around that radius on the nose, just like any other nose that I've done for the front part. But this fender right here, I want it to be removable. So what I'm thinking is that support bar, some type of a fastener system here on this edge, where that I've got maybe 2 or 3 bolt heads right here on this corner, and then turn around, and on the back of this fender, I'm thinking that we're going to take and let's clip that fender back right in here somewhere, come in with a piece of aluminum, have a fastener head right here, and then some type of a support structure up here, a piece of aluminum that goes across, you know, and some type of a fastener structure, so maybe like a bolt here, one here, here, and here, you know, maybe 2 more back here, something along those lines. Not sure, haven't done it before, let's figure it out together. Well, we need to get this nose put together. Let me show y'all. This is, I found, the easiest way to do it. I take and I grab a couple pair of vice grips. I think this is probably just the easiest way. So I just take and put it together like this right here. Not rocket science on this. Throw it up here, put it on the ground, line it up, grab your vice grips, clamp it up, like it right there, turn around, grab the other end. I try to get both of them because if you don't get both ends, you'll mess it up. Grab some right there. It's not that hard. And get it lined up real good. Now I got it on the ends, I can take and I can hold it keep it lined up. So I'll take and get in the middle right here, make sure I'm in the right spot. Like that right there. Start putting rivets in. Hey, something to note here. I'm using a regular rivet and a backup washer to do these. Exploding rivets are great. I love them. I use them too. But just be aware, an exploding rivet will never hold as tight a connection as a backup washer on a regular rivet will. It's just, they're great. They got their purpose. But just be aware, you know, if you're really trying to keep something tight, backup washers will hold it tighter. All right, let's see. I'll get this top right here. All right, so I got the nose ready to go. All right, these Dominator bumpers here, they come with a couple flanges on them for you to bolt through. So I'm just gonna throw this up here. Pretty well know how this goes. And I am going to make sure that I get that center line right in the center of the bumper. Throw a bolt in that. This is all just temporary. I gotta throw paint on all this stuff anyway, so I'm just gonna kind of get it all assembled up. Then I'll take it all apart and throw some paint on it, and then do the final assembly. So I dropped this nose on this corner right here just a little bit. Looking at it, I've dropped it about an inch. You can see where the bolt goes through. It's right through the middle here, and I'm down at the bottom on this side. So I'm about an inch low over there. And as far as like on level wise, because you know the bumper itself, I set it level. But the nose, yeah, I've got it turned down about 1.5 degrees on that corner. So it's probably about an inch, inch and a half low out on that corner right there. So I see these guys that like really put this right front corner, you know, real low with the tire just pushing right up into the top of the fender, and then the whole car is like a wedge. And I'm sure there's an advantage, and that's really helpful on those big slick tracks. I just don't have a lot of experience doing bodies. I'm not real good at it, and so I don't want to go too extreme. So that's why I kept the bumper completely level behind it. I'm just turning the nose a little bit, you know, because I don't know how far you can go before, like, say that Dominator fender, I'm really going to run into problems trying to, like, get it to all work out. So I don't want to do anything too crazy here. So I'm not saying that, like me, like just going an inch and a half is the right thing to do. It's just kind of like what I'm comfortable with trying on this car. Might go a little further on the next one. If we run into a lot of problems, might go a little less. All right, so what's next? Oh, I'm going to put this bar going across here to support this. That's the next piece I got to do. So, got a bunch of this lightweight 3/4 inch tubing. And I think what I'm going to do is it's going to be right across there, like that, is where it's going. And the simplest way, I know where it's going to go. It's going to be right in here. And the simplest way I think I can do this is just line it up. I know it does not need to go past this point or it's going to end up jutting out. Matter of fact, I'll probably have to clean this corner up so that it doesn't mess that plastic up. But I'm just going to take and just eyeball that. Because at this point, it's not about symmetry and stuff as much as it is just making it match where I went with the body on it. So. And I'm probably, when I do this, I'll probably bend these corners down a little bit just to make it all work. So I've got my mark to cut that, so I'm going to cut that off. We'll get busy. Quit right there. Alright, let me get a fender. Here's a good bender. 2-inch box end, right? Oh, that's a good bender right there. I should have better. Throw a little water on it and kind of seize that steel up just a little bit, make it a little bit stiffer. Won't bend right there. It's too easy. Make it want to hold its form. Let's see how close we are. Might have to do a little more. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That looks good. That looks good. If I left that bar sticking straight out, that corner right there, it would have wanted to poke through it. The nose is bolted back on, and I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking I need another piece for this nose. This is way up here, and like where we connect on, it's going to be way back here, and I'm thinking about this piece of aluminum that's going to, cover this whole front piece. It's going to come all the way back to here. But then the hood's going to come down and go under it. Well, the hood, I've got to somehow capture the hood where that it's stabilized. And, how I connect it, how am I going to do that? Well, I got a 64-inch piece right here that I'm going to go across corner to corner like this right here. And we're just going to suspend this across the nose, hopefully. We'll see. And we're going to suspend it across the nose, and then we're going to make some struts to hold it in place. And that's how we're going to do this. So the idea being, however it holds this tube on this nose, is the angle and way I need to weld it up. It's just like that. And then that should all work out just fine. Get this joker in here, just like that. Sit you. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Gotcha. Let's do this driver side fender next. Now, the deal here is I am going to cut some of this leading edge right here off of this fender where that they fit, because if I just took and tried to shove all of this under, well, the curves, after I push so far forward, the curves, they don't line up. I'd have to be like way right here on this lip for that to all match perfect. And it will, and I've done some like that, but put your nose way, way out there. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to line up right to the front of that, tire, right there, and I'll just hold it in place. And I got my silver marker here where it'll show up on that black. And I'm going to take on the back, I've got me a straight edge cross here to make sure I got this angle. I don't think it's got to be perfect, but I got to get this angle kind of close as far as like the angle of the fender this way, because I'm fixing to mark this thing where we can tell where to trim. So we're going to take it and we're going to go right, get it where I want it. Yep. Right there. Steady. Alright? And then I'm going to take this marker and I'm going to mark this inside on the fender. Like that. Okay, now that I got that marked, see I got that line right there? Now I know I can take and I can come out, say 2 inches from that, and I'll have me like a 2-inch overlap right here where it doesn't roll way off into it. So let's make another line down through there and trim that, see how that works out. Hopefully I won't mess this fender up. This thing, I'm thinking maybe 3 inches. I'm thinking 3 inches. I ain't gotta be exact, but we'll try 3. Thing about it is, if I cut it too short, well, it's too late then. If I go a little bit too much and it don't quite fit right, I can always trim more. So, a little less instead of a little more. Oh, that's thick stuff. I guess that's why I don't like it so much. Except when I'm cutting it. I don't like it. Woo! Ah, had that little form bend there. God. I'll go ahead and round these edges off. Okay. There's that one. Hey, did y'all notice the shirt I'm wearing? So this is PPM Racing Products. So these guys are in Tennessee as well, and they're a full distributor for all kind of racing stuff. And then they have like a CNC shop, and they're building their own stuff as well. They watch some of our videos and stuff like what we're doing, putting stuff out there, helping racers. Called me up, told me like, hey, how about, a small discount to help you out? We really like what you're doing. So they're giving me like a 10% discount to help me whenever I'm buying parts for the car, because y'all know I mail order a lot of stuff. I don't even live near a race shop anywhere. But I ordered a few things from them. So you can see they got a full catalog. They got a big website, ppmracingproducts.com. But since I was gonna have to put all the tethers on the corners, I saw some of their own design, and it's different from anything I had seen. And of course, this is your regular clamp on. They got these for bearings where they'll swivel the whole 9 yards, but this is a clamp on like I'd want for this metric street stock. And then they have these in 1.5 and 1.75" clamp on the tubes, and man, I like that design. So I grabbed a couple. I'm not sure exactly how we'll use them, but it was different. I like the look of it, and I thought, let's try it. So when we do the shocks, we're gonna figure out tethers and shocks and stuff at the same time, and we'll figure out how to use these. I think they're gonna work good somewhere. Not sure exactly which corner. We'll figure it out then. But I did want to show that. Not sponsoring this video, not anything like that. Just giving me a small discount to help me out because they like what we're doing. So check them out, ppmracingproducts.com. Let's put the fender on. All right, let's get this thing in here. Right up through there like that. Back here like this. Get in front of that tire. Let's see if that was too much or just right. I can do it like this. Try to kind of pull that down a little bit. Right there. Okay. Now, that's what I'm after. That right there. And then that goes to right there. So I got to just eyeball it. I'm going to get right in the middle of that top right there. Right in the middle of that bar. There it is. I'm gonna put a fastener on the bottom where we don't have to reach in there, because and try to do nuts. I'm gonna do a fastener, don't worry. We'll do a fastener. I'm gonna do a clip, is the plan. So we just got this one bolt in the corner right here. I'm not gonna bolt it up anywhere down through here, because final adjustment, I don't wanna fix those holes until all of this is worked out. So that's enough. We'll turn around, we'll do the other side the same way, and then that should get us to figuring out this bar going across back here, And then at that point, now we've got them fixed and we can go ahead and figure out the rest of our holes and all of that. Clamp you up real tight. Help me. Hold you still. Okay, you stay there on there. You use the guide. Oh, nothing's easy, y'all. Nothing's easy. Throw me a zip tie around there. Where it'll slide. Okay, right there. Alright. Got you on a zip tie. Got you right here. Get you right there. Mark this right here. Do the same thing. Right? Then go 3 inches on this side. Well, we got her trimmed back. Let's get her in here and see if we can get this corner bolted up here. I'm gonna throw this clamp back on this corner just to hold it in place right quick. Now, you can't go nowhere. Let me see how much. Just want to curl it a little bit. Like that. We're going to put a bolt in there. We'll make all that relaxed. I'll tell you another thing too. Like when you get completely done and it's got like a pull in it or somewhere, get a heat gun on it. I've done that on mine. Like when I'm taking it off and putting it on, I'm trying to, you know, like adjust it, and I got like it's kind of fighting me and like it's wanting to warp or bow or something. Like just bolt that thing down or pop it like I need to, and then I'd get behind it, you know, with like a towel on my hand where I didn't burn my fingers, and like get a heat gun and I'd warm it up and get that plastic to like relax. Like you can make it do what you want. Clamp you right there. Let's see. Oh, that looks great right there. That looks good. When I'm looking down through here on this side, I'm just looking for that line right there to be parallel, but it's over the top of my tires. It's actually like in and like splitting the top of my left side tires, that outside body line right there. On this side, that outside body line right there is actually on the outside edge of my tires, you know, down through here. And I'm trying to make sure, like I got this point right here, and that's running through, and so like that corner, like I'm sitting here and I'm looking, and it's like if I ran exactly straight, would it be over the top of that tire the same as it is on this tire? And it's like, it would be right over that outside edge of that last tread. So like the roundness of the side is kind of outside of it, but that's okay because I'm gonna flare the body a little bit because I want that right rear to not push into the fender, but instead to push under the fender. And that looks right. So let's see what that measures. Hopefully, should be around 64. Yeah, and it is. It's 64. Can I cut it exactly 64? Yes. All right, so I'm gonna cut me a T-bar, 64 inches, and this is 2 inches off of the top of my roll cage. Yeah, well, 2 1/4 inches. My level right here is 2 1/4 inches, and that looks right. What else do I need to? What else do I need to do to confirm that? Let me see. Let's look. So, I've taken, like, is that the right height? Well, it's definitely running the angle perfect. And of course, this whole front of this car, instead of running straight up like this, is kind of going to run at an angle this way. You know, so I'm going to be a little bit over the top of the deck down there. Those roll bars, the deck is not going to be on the actual roll cage itself. That's perfect. everything on this car just keeps on working out just right. It's like this car's talking to me saying, hurry up and get me to the track, I'm ready to go. Yeah. My top protection for my radiator is just a little bit high. It's like it's going to make a little hump right here. I'm going to leave it. It'll be fine. If anything, it'll help keep this nose right here. If I was to take and support that nose up a little bit, that hump probably would not show up under the aluminum. I may do that, but yeah, we're going to go with that. We're going to go with that. So that's 2 1/4. This is 3/4 right here. So I'm going to cut some 1.5 inch square stands and to weld on top of my roll cage tubes right there. And then this is, I think this piece is long enough. Yeah, this piece right here will work. And we're going to take and we're going to put this across. And I think it's going to work out where that this can clear my distributor, where that I could pull my distributor out without any problem. I think it's all going to work out just perfect. So, get that going. That there. Okay. And I cut a couple 1.5 inches first. I'm just going to sit them up there. See what that looks like. That. And then I cut, so let's see. So that's leveling it across. I realized, I don't think I want to level it across. Cut one about another 1/2 inch taller. So we're going to be a little bit taller on this side. It's going to kind of continue that angle up. That's fine. And that. Yep, that is what it needed. So I'm right up there. That's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. Glad I caught that and didn't just leave that exactly the same on both sides. That would not have worked out. Well, it would have worked, but it would have made the deck like start out with an angle and then flatten off right here, you know, flat up, and might have looked a little bit weird. Still would have worked. I've got a couple pieces of 1/2 inch square here, and I want to kind of match that curve in that fender. I want that curve. If I can curve the hood a little bit, it'll keep it from like falling in. It'll put a little bit of strength in it. It keeps everything. It'll keep everything from like, you know, flopping in the wind, anything like that. A little bit of curve in the hood does a lot of good, y'all. So don't overthink this right here. And I got this just about 2 inches longer. It's fine. So I got me a board here, and I'm just going to take and just put a gentle curve in this. And that curve will stay in it because I'm going to lock it in between these 2 points. So it'll be like a bridge span. You know, when it's pushed down on, it's going to push against those 2 outside points. And that'll keep it from bowing in. But, I mean, if you needed to, you could put a little arch in there. But you don't have to. It'll be fine without it. Okay. Come on. There we go. Let's see. How's that look? Oh, that's getting close. A little more on this end. It's harder when you get on the end than out on the edge, out in the middle of it. Like that. Let's get close, and then I can always just take it. Use a fulcrum point. But if you put it between 2 tubes and do something like that right there, just keep in mind you're going to make a real sharp bend in it. So I like it back here. Need a little more right there. Let me find a good spot. There's a good spot right there. Let's try that. See what that looks like. Yeah, think that's it. I think that is it. And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to match these like this. So I'm going to match these. I'm going to use this one on this side, and then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to put you right there, and I'm going to mark you, and I'm going to make sure I don't cut this too short, but I'm kind of wedged it in. It'll hold in place. Put it right there. Got that perfect. So see, I got it wedged in, and that holds it up. And I'm just going to use the tube underneath as a guide and just set that sucker and let her go. It's like nobody's going to know. They're not going to know that I just eyeballed all this stuff. That one. Oh, that's tight. That's okay. I want tight. Tight's gonna hold that arch. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and stick this back here and then set that front. That would actually work out easier. Level. Come on. And I'll go back later. Everything you see me just putting one weld like that, I'll weld it all the way around. I'm just not going to put all that on the video. This video would be boring if y'all watch me do all that. These panels right here are not going to be the same, or they're not, and they're also not going to be square. Like, just don't forget that. Like, it's never going to work out that perfect. So, like, for example, right here, that's 14 3/4, 15 right there, 16 right here, and 16. So I'm parallel on this side. I've got a little bit of a turn going on that side. Totally normal. Don't sweat it. If you chase all of that stuff, you'll drive yourself crazy trying to do a body. I'm not that good, and I know there's a lot more other people are not that good. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Nobody is sitting there like doing this like, well, is your car legal? Oh, you're off a 1/4 inch on your body panel. No, dude, this ain't NASCAR. Don't worry about it. Well, I got the nose figured out at this point. I'm kind of looking at this and the way the work needs to go. And I think I've got to pull all of this back off and go ahead and weld up everything completely and paint the stuff. And get done with the front end, so to speak, and then turn around and put the pieces of aluminum, because there's a piece of aluminum that's going to go right across here. We're going to flare this end up on it, and then I've got the two pieces that go here. They don't get pop riveted into this piece. They just get pop riveted on this side. I'm going to put a bend in them where they'll just hang over that lip, and then my hood pins, when I mount the hood pins, they'll just drop over those hood pins, and that's how they'll be secured. Of course, a bolt here, and then we're going to end up putting, 2 more fasteners down the sides right here. But I am going to break this episode up into a part 1 and a part 2, because there is a lot going on as far as like getting this deck and coming on out with it before that I can like put this side on where you can see me cut the back of that fender. And so let's call this an episode. That way I can go ahead and get that painted up and everything, and then where we'll pick it up is continuing this deck on out, and that way we can get all of this top and side and stuff figured out, and I'll go ahead and have this as far as just those pieces of aluminum and stuff cut where you can see it. Shout out to Mr. Bentley Shaw that owns Dominator Race Products. I have been buying Dominator products for years, and Mr. Bentley has seen, Dirt Race Life and what we're doing here and showing how we do stuff. He likes it, and he discounted all these parts for us significantly because, man, this is like my 6th or 7th Dominator nose. Really enjoy the products and stuff. Mr. Bentley, thank you very much for discounting these products for us where we can put it on our new build. Y'all, I appreciate you giving me a discount. All right, I will see y'all next time.